Hello, my name is Shannon. I am currently 29 years old, and next month I will be turning the big 30. I'm not really quite sure how I feel about that yet, but it's coming and there's nothing I can do about it. I have been married for the last 12 years. I am a military wife, so I've done a lot of moving and living on my own away from my closest family and friends. That's okay though, because I have my best friend by my side at all times, which just so happens to be my daughter, who is 10 years old and will be 11 next month, 2 weeks after I turn 30. Being the age that I am, along with being married and having a daughter, and all of the moving that I have done, I have acquired many objects throughout the years, many of which hold a special place in my heart. Narrowing it down to 3 was a little tricky, but I managed to do it. I will start with the one that has a funny story behind it, and I chose my husband. On the 4th of July 12 years ago, I was staying at a friend's house, and she had an addiction to internet chat rooms and was always trying to find her Prince Charming. She thought that she found it in a soldier that happened to be stationed down in Tennessee at Fort Campbell, where my now husband was stationed as well. They were going to be coming to St. Louis to visit that day with a friend, and they were going to meet up. Turns out his friend, my now husband, did not want to be a third wheel, so I tagged along. After that, he was coming back every weekend to visit, and after 4 short months, I decided that I wanted to transfer my high school, move down there with him, and be with him. We ended up marrying shortly after that, and everybody has always found it amusing that we ended up together the way that we did, because if I had never been at her house visiting and he had never wanted to tag along with his friend, we would have never met. This whole story leads to my next object of importance, which is my daughter's birth certificate. This symbolizes, on paper, the birth of my daughter. I found out that I was pregnant shortly after we married, and it was very unexpected, but not unwanted. She is my world. I try my best to be the best parent in the world that I can and teach her everything that I know and pass down all of my interests to her, as does my husband. She is an identical version of me, looks and all. People have asked numerous times if we are sisters, and it's actually quite funny how much we look alike. It is because of the birth of her, though, that I have gave up my athletic scholarships to become a mother. So for almost 10 years, I raised her, worked where I could, followed my husband around post after post, never really finishing my education. 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to push college on my daughter, and I needed to be a real role model to do that. So I needed to get a degree that I have been wanting to for some time. So this is where my GED comes in handy. I finally took the test and scored exceptionally high, a 3,450 out of 4,000, and with that I was able to finally begin my college career. Which leads me here. I'm going to do everything I can to graduate as quickly as possible and with the best grades as possible so that I can show my daughter that anything that she wants to do, she can do, and that nothing will get in her way. As I go further in my life, I'm sure that I will come across many more objects of importance, but for now, these 3 make up my life and what I'm doing with it at the moment, and there isn't anything else that I would change.